There are prayers we whisper once, and there are prayers we carry for years. For Isaac and Rebekah, the desire for a child became a 20-year season of waiting. Scripture tells us that Rebekah was unable to have children, and Isaac did something simple but powerful. He prayed. In this story, we'll look at what happened during those years of waiting, how God answered Isaac's prayer, and what their experience can teach us about prayer, patience, and trusting God's timing.
What do you do when God has made a promise, but years pass and nothing seems to happen? Isaac knew the promises God had given to his father Abraham. Through their family, God promised to build a great nation. But there was a problem. Isaac was 40 years old when he married Rebekah. They wanted a family, but year after year passed, and Rebekah remained unable to have children. 5 years passed, then 10, then 15. Isaac, still no child. Imagine the questions they may have carried. Had God forgotten his promise? But Isaac did something important. He prayed. Genesis 25-21 says, Isaac prayed to the Lord on behalf of his wife because she was childless. And after 20 years of waiting, God answered his prayer. Rebekah became pregnant. Isaac was now 60 years old. 20 years of waiting did not mean God had abandoned his promise. The answer came in God's time, and Rebekah wasn't carrying just one child. She was carrying twins, 2 sons whose struggle would begin before they were even born, and whose descendants would shape biblical history, Esau and Jacob. Sometimes waiting feels like silence. But Isaac and Rebekah's story reminds us that a delay does not necessarily mean the promise has been forgotten.
But Isaac and Rebekah's story is more than a story about waiting 20 years for a child. So what can we learn from their years of waiting?
Isaac had a deeply personal prayer. He wanted a child. So he brought that desire to God and prayed earnestly for his wife. But the answer required patience. Isaac was 40 when he married Rebekah, and he was 60 when their sons were born. They waited 20 years. Their story reminds us that we can bring even our most personal desires to God. We can ask, pray, and continue seeking Him even when the answer seems delayed. And sometimes there may be a purpose in the waiting. Waiting can help us. 1. Understand more clearly what we really need. 2. Appreciate God's answer more deeply when it comes. 3. Grow and mature so we are better prepared to handle the blessings He gives us. Sometimes we are so focused on receiving the answer that we don't notice what God may be developing in us while we wait. Isaac prayed to the Lord on behalf of his wife. The Lord answered his prayer, and his wife Rebekah became pregnant. Genesis 25-21. If you're still waiting for an answer to a prayer, keep bringing it to God. The waiting season can also be a growing season.